SL, MDL, the Superman. Yeah. Okay, never mind. So yeah, I'd say, as Winner said, you're not really thinking about that though. You're really just trying to perform at your best. And I think both of these teams have demonstrated that the depth to come into this final and put on a great show.
Is the discussion you had half an hour ago, 1 hour ago with your team. What are you supposed to do this game? At what moment we're supposed to move? There's nothing
extra. We know how to beat this team kind of decide, because having won the last 6 against them, I know they were a bit silly. They were in the tiebreaker and in the group stages. So does that play a part in it? We know how to beat these guys. It's confident.
To me, this is an entire new game. Like anything that happens before, it may be the same team, but it is a different game. LGD have game by playing extra games. They might have understood more about the game than Mineski. So this is an entire new game.
Okay, and Jack, from LGD's point of view, same sort of thing this season against this team, do they?
Yeah, well, with a very different roster. I think that was Yao and Xnova wasn't here. FI was playing offlane. It was a different roster, that's for one. And obviously many months ago, right? Teams and players talk about this. It's like if you lose to a team and you get to play them again, it can be very easily seen as those, but you survive the learning. So I would say the first game of the upper bracket series, you saw the Husk draft win that just basically ended the game for them. I would say that LGDs should probably not fall into that trap again. Although, so yeah, they should be able to learn from that. And all right, they beat us. I don't think we're beneath them. We have momentum coming in. We just beat VP and Mineski.
Yeah. Okay. Kyle, talk to me. They usually have a meta all of their own, don't they? It evolves as the game, as the series goes on.
Can we talk about the OP heroes? We have Dark Below, Underlord.
I would say it's just Underlord is strong because you can at least deal with the hero in some way. There's no actual counter to Underlord teleport. I don't know. It's like you ever leave a bar at close, it's 2 a.m. You can barely. Underlord is sort of like comes down, just scoops you away to safety, and then you can drink your water and get in bed.
Get out of the joke.
Hovercraft scooped me up to safety, Kyle. I'm not sure I can relate to that one.
That's the point. It's just as groundbreaking as this sort of Uber hovercraft.
Uber hovercraft.
How about the Nature's Prophet?
Yeah,
the
Nature's
hovercraft
Prophet
that comes out of nowhere.
True. Yeah. I mean, I saw LGD have a couple opportunities where I thought they might pick it in the previous series. I'm sure I saw from LGD. I think they're just going to ban it 100%. I think maybe you even ban Pangolier unless you have some sort of answer to it.
Underlord if you're second pick.
Yeah, I think no, it's first pick actually. I think it's more scary as it's right now. I feel Underlord plus anything, be it a core, be it a support, Disruptor Underlord. We've seen DP Underlord from Mineski in the previous series. It just, and especially considering the Roche, like you back to like the tools, and Underlord just gives you like these 7 or 8. It's like a checklist of your draft. There's so much. There's just so much to think about. Do you have tower push, wave clear, save, deep push, etc. The list is like 20, 30 long, right? But Underlord gives you so much that you can build a draft.
Mineski took first pick, and LGD picked Radiant. The draft is underway for the grand final. Game number 1.
You can see the Nyx band out from LGD. Mineski choosing to go with the Beastmaster. Definitely think you get rid of the Terrorblade against LGD. It just seems like playing with.
So it's tiny.
Yeah, I like what Mineski does though. I really approve of banning out 3 cores. BO5 metas. I think you force LGD to show the other cores, they're specifically for Yang on the offlane, because we really only, or sorry, not Yang, Chalice press me on Underlord. So that's the other hero that that's the only other offlaner they're willing to first 2. And these first 2 offlaners, especially when you have such greedy cores, like maybe to give them more favorable matchups.
He's an offlaner. You're probably going to suffer a little bit compared to other teams. You're probably going to get
a little bit is an understatement.
How the offlaner has, in many ways, defined how teams have a different playstyle in this tournament. Do you go for the initiator?
Yeah.
Is it a tempo hero? Yeah, I think he had a game on Tide.
Yeah, should be AA plus.
Yes, of course. It's a choice. It's literally AA Tiny or AA Gyro. Those are like
Tiny is, I guess, I would say against the. You do provide the burst to kill her.
I agree.
10 seconds remaining.
So you need a save now. Tusk.
Remaining.
It's just it's gonna be Tusk. Just kidding. Forgot about that one. Interesting.
He's not a save.
But there's other options though. They've shown that they're willing to pick Oracle. There's obviously the Tusk. There was OD until this is a treat, and this is something I like from LGD. If you think in game one because
Yeah.
it's still going to be a hero Mineski's not really comfortable with. I only played it a couple times. You lose one game with it to the series.
Yeah, you just have
Yeah.
enough doubt where it's like, I don't know if we can
Yeah.
force this
No,
through.
it gives this game. If you defeat Pango, then you don't have the burden to ban the hero anymore.
Right.
It gives you more options.
It also means that they then LGD then consider that either the Omni out or maybe even the Prophet out of the bans.
Yep, they're banning out the lane matchups. Monkey King ban.
Yep.
Pango will be the Naga.
I would agree. You just actually take him out of the Rolling
Yeah,
Thunder
it's
with a net. You need a link instead.
Like when you ulti, you don't use your dagger first. You see the net getting thrown and you try to dodge it.
Did see Daryl play the Pango once, I think, in the groups. It's
The
kind of
team items.
again, like
Yeah.
always kind of getting that itemization on his offlaners, right? Almost
It's
regardless
a
who it
much the public.
is. Zai build. Although Zai did
So
quite
the
a
full
bit.
how you want to play against a hero like AA. You just want to sustain through of a pipe hero. It's much easier to do just.
Naga will be great against DP. DP pops ulti, song, bye-bye, see you later.
I may have pretty heavily here.
Mm-hmm.
And I also wanted to say that both teams, there's still a Chen on the table.
Chen AA, I'm not a big fan of that. Like together as a support duo.
Still on the
I
table.
actually really like it. We ran that in a couple games. We had a lot of success with it because you just drop a chilling touch, penitent somebody, and you can literally just kill them with supports.
For the lack of stuns.
Yeah, you run it with like the DKs, the Void, which is obviously banned. Copter works with it, but we'll pick in this spot. But
And
do they like Naga enough? I've seen FY play it. He was a build.
you talk about the Chen though, but all of them are played by Daryl. Daryl will play both the heroes. And I'm not sure if
I don't think you pick the Chen. You just go your supports. Think about what hero you want to put Mushi
Tusk,
or Moon
I
on.
just combo with the
Yeah, the Tusk. I'm sure that if Tusk is available, they're going to take it. I've seen that combo with Pango. There's essentially creating a pinball of
Yeah.
stunning. Yeah, but Clock's just
clock is
so underwhelming as a hero. And having BKB immediately out of it.
they're taking a long time. I mean, they leave the supports to last, so they want more burst against DP.
Maybe
There
that's
might be there might be an idea behind this.
Can you utilize? You can use Haze on the Pango while rolling, right? That allows you to right click him during the ult pretty hard. It's also a good hero.
Then the Naga.
I'm not sure. It's just for the damage amp in range cores that they favor for Ame. I can see it. I'm just not a huge fan of it in this game, especially with Mineski still having to
Have the
this-
troll, right, which they
yeah.
found quite frequently.
went just skyrocketed in value for Mineski as well. I think the synergy with their draft is excellent against AA. It also is really good against Slardar.
LGD's turn to pick.
Yep.
Dire
It's just there's the PA. Good call, Winter. Picking it that early though. Target from LGD. They don't have that team fight, and that's part of the reason Mineski, because without Beastmaster Underlord,
Hey, I tell you
it's
what,
the last pick.
time comes out. You're Huskar.
Senses are not taking
There's
this
A.
game. I think it would be a very difficult hustle.
Hey, go in the same game.
It's a great pick here. Excellent synergy with the Oracle, and it's super strong when he goes Shadow Realm.
10 seconds remaining.
It's interesting too because they go now and there's so much up, and I just think to myself, okay, they're going to try and kill somebody, and if there's any save whatsoever, they're going to get crushed in this. It's the last pick a core hero, be that they're 1 or 2. I feel like you just
Sven.
not Sven. You get kited too easily. You want something more. PL would be interesting. I like PL, but you might want to to help you through the early game. You don't. I feel like your timing.
So
Yeah.
many
I knew
answers
it was
against
going to come
Huskar.
though. That's why as soon as they saw that Oracle, they were like, "We're not getting Huskar again. It's not happening."
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have AA.
Be afraid of that hero in this spot. Could be a really strong SF game. You don't want something that has to utilize regen, BKB hero, like a BKB HP, but that not like a DK hero. Something that survives based on his skill set or tankiness, because you kind of just get exploded at a point. You already have the DP Pango frontlining. I want something that could see a Puck perhaps off a bit. The Puck Willow combo might compensate for that. I could see Gyro's not bad, but to be honest.
LGD's turn to pick.
Okay.
That's
We can go
Mushi.
for
Gives them another save.
Really a lot of they have the Willow Pango to compensate. It's a different story. I'm not sure what LGD goes for with this pick. Some
Fight hero though.
yeah, but I feel like that's what you get with the Tinker. It needs to be some sort of spellcaster.
If they want to go that route.
I don't think you can pick DK so much single target. Venomancer, there you go. Yeah, that's
better.
yeah, it happens when Mineski tries to go high ground in 20 minutes with a pipe.
Wants to kill, to stop the Pango ulti as well.
All right, time for start with you.
Willow and Ping against that, and Daryl and game 1.
Okay, Winter.
That's already a good point. Willow and Pango
Yeah.
on the same team, the Rolling Thunder, apart from getting a helm and getting a creep. So I'm just going to...
Production, you know where I'm going with this.
Kyle.
It's game
You're
1.
crazy.
Look,
You're crazy.
it's crazy in about 60 minutes. I'm just going to state for the record that these are both championship drafts. It makes the job of those of us without, but I think LGD is going to take this.
And so to come, of course, throughout this one, it's a best of 5. The road has only just begun for Mineski Arena, and join your grand final commentary.
Thank you, Red Eye. And yes, here we are. What a grand final matchup. We've just seen the 2 lineups, and folks, we got a lot of fun here. I mean, depending on how you see it, there's a bit of OS.
First tournament where there's Pango, and they're excited for it.
You know, they heard you speak. But we had a couple of combos from LGD, the Slardar PA, the Veno AA. What do you reckon? The panel was pretty split, but Mineski was sort of the overriding favored here off the draft. What do you reckon?
I mean, there's the new heroes in particular on the Dark Willow yesterday. He was by himself, and we've seen what Ice can threaten with that Pangolier. I mean, this game, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
We had a brilliant ski in the best of 3, so we can only hope for even more here in the best of 5. And already today, LGD, of course, showing up against Virtus Pro.
Trying to get aggressive right off the bat, going top. Both teams are actually trying to scout things out. You see, they hit a boogie, kind of expecting this aggression at the beginning.
Very close to grab, but as it seems,
Abs and Ice actually lane together. Seeing a Pango Willow dual lane, we'll see what the new heroes can really.
Down. Able to keep himself safe, but certainly a game, as you said, you know, Jabs. We've seen any point of this game where the PA does not have a BKB quite finished up.
Yeah,
this hero is very vulnerable with the Bedlam.
Pretty cool the storyline we have coming into this too. We have a lot of Ice versus FY. We have Nana versus Xnova. Like, all these people have played together in the past in their regions, etc. So this we're already gonna have a bit of a battle up top. They're trying to get the creep wave. Chalice
should have it for now. I mean, gonna take a lot of damage for this. Mushi, if he can sort of buy the time, he's gonna have magic missile back clicks. This should be a chance as long as he can keep him ranged for the stun, and he's found it. One more touch, he needs it, and he's got it. We'll still get the pull from the creeps. But a nice bit of a bonus there for Mushi.
Bramble, buckle off the mark, Xnova able to juke it out. But yeah, Chalice tanking that whole creep wave, gets punished by that long route of Ninja Boogie with Mushi.
This bottom lane, the Dark Willow Pangolier lane. Something that we haven't really got the treat to. The time teams will just not let both of these get their hands on both of them. And Jabs, Willow, and Ice Pangos, as we have been seeing here at DAC. Let's see how LGD can deal with it. Make a bit of an opening onto Jabs.
The first game.
Tried by both sides, specifically LGD Grand Finals, a hero that is not the go-to core.
And also, I mean, on the other side too, Mineski busting out the Oracle again. They picked it versus the AA. Very tough game for Ninja Boogie. He has to be very, very timely with all of his spells. Those dispel, as well as that ulti timing. Versus AA, it's very crucial to get the ulti as the Frostbite is wearing off, so you can Frostbite is there. So we'll see how much he's able to do on it, because it can be pretty difficult to get the
across the map, as we're seeing the mid lane at the moment, slight, but only ever so close between the two.
Yeah, I actually seen this matchup a decent amount. First change Tiny, I saw it happening. I think it was like Ace versus SCCC, and Ace was there a couple times. So it is expected to be 11-1.
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys and girls watching at home. Hopefully we should be able to get them sorted quickly, and we did. We're back on. Knows that as well, as you can see with that nice little shiny icon, Pango. DOTA Plus.
What is it? How many?
I think that's level 5.
Okay.
They did change the levels, so it's a little bit easier to get.
Okay, that's true.
They changed the scaling.
Fair.
Played it a lot because Ice certainly has. Get away with it here, Jabs. Is going to tick down low. Final touch indeed from Xnova. Getting themselves their own kill on the board.
Yeah, they got a bit over aggressive there versus PA. They don't really have the damage to. Little over eager there. This isn't really last hitting in the greatest fashion down PA.
All in all, across the map, no one really losing too much out of farm. Moosh, the top lane, safe lane, Vengeful Spirit, as you can see, 11 for 1. And in terms of off lanes, favoring LGD.
Right now, the cores, I would say, I guess, on LGD are farming a bit better, but you see Ninja Boogie has 7 last hits, so that's like he has a decent amount of net worth.
Opening really between the two sides and two teams, two lineups that we are yet to very static lanes for the first 3 minutes.
kind of cool that they've transitioned into full 2-1-2s we were seeing in the past brackets and everything. It was becoming these like roam. Now it's just strictly that 2-1-2 to make sure that you don't get over.
See up top, Chalice. Gale out onto Ninja Boogie. Won't be able to get himself through the tree line back underneath the tower, so a dive to over. Get caught out by the root. Ice heads over, grabs the invis. Sure that Ice and jabs. Don't try and finish off the AA.
Needing heavy harassment.
Starting to sap through, has the wave of terror. FY's going to be there though to back up Chalice. Mushi's got to be careful now. FY turn, beat down Chalice, gets the magic missile out. Can he finish off the Venomancer with the right clicks? Chalice falls, but again FY, second crush, will get the return kill. A 1-for-1 down for more. Ninja Boogie salving up Clarence. Third crush. More damage onto the Ninja Boogie, but Ninja Boogie going to be able to get back there. And Ninja Boogie will be fine.
He stepped in a bit too close there, he was trying to help Mushi.
With the Gale here, Somnus is going to come in with hard. Somnus will look towards Ninja Boogie. Ninja Boogie has the magic and through him. Ninja Boogie looking for the jukes, but he's not going to make it away. Somnus finds the pick off, but at the same time, Mushi able to punish him and starting to come in from both sides at this top bit of a battlefield.
A very early move coming out from Somnus. We now see FY ports, refills the bottle. Might actually be able to make a secondary play here, but the scan comes in. But Mushi has to be careful to not hit.
Comes straight in on top of him. FY flying in from the heavens, landing somewhere with 3 heroes upon him. There's no chance for the Vengeful Spirit.
Man, they actually caught the scan there too, so they knew that he was there.
And this is certainly the lane that's starting to be the CS. As you can see, Mushi really able to focus him on the top lane. Bottom, quick shadow round.
So Ninja Boogie now attack Mushi. He's already struggling like you were mentioning, and they want to double up on that. That Moon was able, or Nana, whichever you want to call, caught heavily back up in the last hits because of Somnus' rotations.
Now I get a little bit of farm out of this bottom lane.
Yeah, I think leaving him alone actually is probably the best, because he's not really going to, it's not too likely to, as we see there, because they don't really have the hard lockdown.
Yeah, it's very hard to get on top of Ice unless he uses the swashbuckle aggressive. And every time he should be able to get himself back to safety. Mid lane, as you say, Moon. Since Somnus left the lane.
Maybe he's stacking his own jungle a bit and stack while clearing the big camp. Chalice top, now with the rotation from Jabs.
Try and make a move. Will be held back. White has the crush, holds the 2 of them there. Still, a root will be fine. Keeps the distance, starting to get quite a bit of damage in return. They back up, get underneath their tier 1 lane on the look for aggression with his crushes.
The obnoxious poison sting from those plague wards. They also saw Chalice had several 1 charges, so they didn't want to. That mid lane, incredibly even. As mentioned, he's been clearing some jungle camps, and the nice thing too is when he makes that first gank up and is just jungling, it kind of puts a little bit of a threat onto Mineski. That's why we've seen them not go for those aggressive plays so far.
And Jabs both moving to babysit Mushi on the top lane, making sure to find the farm. Quite nearly also hitting onto 5. Slados are getting good XP there between the 2 of them thanks to the action that they've managed to kick off. And the arcane boots finished, so we can keep the spam pretty high. Yeah. Just to look to keep our man on his toes. Lane now, supports are left, getting a lot out of it. Let's focus down here by Ninja Boogie. They'll get him with the Purifying Flame Nuke. That's one. Apex Nova. Can they get anything more out of this? The Cold Feet will proc onto Mushi. Able to kill off LGD's offlane, Chalice.
Yeah, Ninja Boogie already being the aggressive swap, instantly coming out, but now it's going to be going back top, and Somnus is sticking in the jungle, so they don't know where this Tiny is during all of this. But imagine it's just going to be, what, like the blink into some gold protector. Maybe not the full pipe, but versus Veno AA, it could be likely. For that Oracle ulti on the Death Prophet. He wants to be playing more of that like supportive kind of role, Vengeful Spirit. So level 6 on Ninja Boogie.
So if they could set up for something else with the swap.
I saw Mineski do this. They're like, all right, Jabs, you're taking the safe lane. How much damage this hero can do? So they try to make these aggressive moves around the map to ensure harm.
He's going to head up, finds X-Nova, trying to find some levels, but take him out of the lane.
And Ninja Boogie during that smoke gets a ward down so they can keep tabs on where Somnus is. And an Exorcism now.
He will come back through from X-Nova as he reaches if anyone else wants to head in to help out. And FY, he will join the cause, looking to just minimize the damage that he's going to be able to get done to this tier 1 tower. They put the fortification. He's looking to kick things off, opens up onto X-Nova with a burst from the Cryptstorm. They've got it with the crush, but he has to be careful for Mineski to finish off that tier 1 tower mid on top of getting that support.
Mushi going toward top. Jabs is now level 6. Chalice has to be careful of this wrap.
Ice as well. They want this Venomancer, and they'll certainly get him. They don't even need ice. Making some quick moves now, Mineski. Somnus has got that Blink Dagger complete. We'll see what sort of an impact he can find. He's pretty low, and in fact, he's getting in and onto the two of them. Mushi, though, not quite.
Switches to treads to survive through that.
Not the Blink Dagger reveal that Somnus would have hoped for.
Before, when they took that mid tower, we saw the one they placed in the jungle, they even doubled down to watch the hard camp. This hero, you're going to get to that farming point. So keeping tabs on those heroes is ideal.
The Demon Edge money towards his Battle Fury. So, on the P8. Game stands 7 for just less than a 1k lead. So incredibly close. At least in the second game yesterday between these two teams who have proved.
Yeah, I think Mushi has to play like extremely aggressively in this game. He's going to struggle a bit versus the Tiny. As putting pressure onto LGD is the right move, and they're making the move down toward trying to get this tower and a big kill.
See if Mushi can get the swap set up. They're going to find Nova on the side. Nova instantly bursting.
Exorcism. Nothing here, but they changed their mind from going in order to get those kills. As we've seen, the kill threshold for the Tiny is not there at the
very clean Def Profit performance. He got a free lane essentially after Somnus left it after a while, and 2 exorcisms, 2 towers. They're looking for the burst, but the Shadow Realm's there in time to keep this man out of their jabs. Ice Blast is incoming, it will connect. False Promise will not save him as he's already too low. Gets the return kill with the Rolling Thunder. Support trade.
Jabs actually, he scouted the ward out, or the smoke out initially when he was in the, so then they fully committed for the kill. And Chalice has a Dominator finished. Dominators more and more this tournament.
And Dagger very, very close himself to having it, as he still stands pretty much even with Chalice's. A few hundred ahead. So close.
And that Blink Dagger on ice is gonna give him a lot more team fight as well as just ways to catch heroes. Swap into his stuns. Like, Oracle isn't really the most guaranteed catch. Fortune's End's not really. So that's gonna make Mineski able to actually start the fights and initiate rather than have to like an awkward spot. Nice. Getting pressured a bit here. The Ice Blast as well.
I'm gonna pop it both, but he's rolling out of there. Goodbye, sir. Quick roll and a TP back to base from Ice.
Up there to push LGD out.
See if they're going to run into Somnus. Inch himself away from the smoke, but Nova may not be as fortunate. Moon trying to chase down with Chalice with a magic missile. Jabs is going to head up top to help out Chalice as well as Ninja Boogie. That way through the jungle, he goes for the TP out. Is he going to make it in time? The crowd were happy with that. Yeah. So
they were
standing on top
of each other.
They miss swap.
Costly. Yesterday, Death Prophet, when you're playing with Oracle, you tend to see the Blink Dagger picked up without taking damage, so you're able to blink and reposition.
Why? 200 then be there for the Slardar too.
Ame's been left at last hits. Battle Fury done.
Getting a lot of space.
Pressure on him though. The rotations from the 2 new heroes.
See what they can do. Rolling Thunder, the early bit of control. Jump back in with the Blink Dagger, gets the second stun. He's looking for the rotation to find the comes with a slight struggle. Or maybe it did. It's not enough. Name is now going to turn. He's going to Ice!
Be in trouble too here, Mushi.
Quick blink away to duke it out. He'll make it out of there. Moon. He's looking for the chase down onto Chalice. This very fun. And Yule Scepter, lots of catch potential from himself to be worried about. But Mineski indeed getting that very important kill, just knocking Ame off the map for a bit. Just surviving.
On ice, so he doesn't get brought down by that. And Mushi, even though 6-2-2, his last hits are the thing that's 5th on that net worth compared to the Chalice. 0-4 has 300 more.
See Mushi continue to complete.
Yeah. FY already has a Blink Dagger on this Slardar. They might look to just... They can also like sneak Roche pretty easily in some situations with that Slardar, with that PA.
See what they can get done. FY ready to lead the charge. Oh,
that's what we were saying.
And they go.
It's not... Mineski were pinging it before they even started it, though. This is the dream place.
Ice. Looking to lead in as the rolling, keeping Ame forced out the pit. FY goes to the crush, tries to get himself away from Moon, but the rolling will be able to force himself to the side. FY Now seeing if he can bring the side of it all. FY jumps in with a false promise there from Ninja Boogie. Buying time for Jabs. Jabs goes in with the Shadow Realm with the Bedlam onto no. FY's there with the crush, and they have found on top. They're able to protect themselves around the pit, and they're straight back in there.
And with the Venom, he's securing this Roche area.
Somnus as well, just holding. FY will instantly crush and walk himself away. Somnus coming in with the counter play. He's there with a chase. Gets the kill onto Ninja Boogie. Mushi's hiding. He's open. He's a payoff, and it's not. They've got all the AoE in the world. Mushi will fall. Break apart Mineski around this pit.
Him, brings him down to half health, and then Tiny's able to just jump in and finish him off. Either Moon was still on cooldown for the LGD, taking advantage of that corrosive haze and this farm PA.
3K lead now with that Aegis and Roshan in.
Excellent decision making coming out from them there.
Very sweet little plays there from FY and his Slaughter. Target to target, keeping pressure heavily on.
So you see Death Prophet ulti still on cooldown. So Ice is trying to make as much space as possible by going in, chunked all the way down. So he has to back up. From there, Mineski just has to go on full retreat.
Yeah, and then FY. Sure, false promise there for Jabs.
LGD, they're not looking to slow down. Don't really have any long cooldown ultis. The only one they have is pretty much Veno. So they know they can keep this pace up.
By Mineski. Don't know that it is. Maybe spotted. Moon does have very hard for them massively off guard. And they're going to attempt for it. Mineski.
They had vision of top, so they saw
they get straight in. Into Misfador. Gets the silence annuals onto FY. Back up inbound as Mineski comes forward. But Ice straight in as he hits the cliff, but they're still going to try and chase. FY he'll fall. But the Red will drop a ward down, so Mineski will know he's about. Jump in for Somnus. He's actually come back in for 3-man avalanche as well. LGD, they found 3 as Ice trying to hide in the trees, but Chalice got the vision and with Arme's dagger there. D with that re-engage. Somnus making the jump, making the call to play and clean up Mineski.
Maybe is absolutely on fire this game. From the amount of farm, blink SNY already.
He says he deserves it, and he's not wrong.
And the thing about LGD's lineup is they're very damn. They've got a PA, they've got a Tiny, and they've got a Slaughter with Corrosive Haze. You look at Mineski with the Death Prophet benchmark.
Finds another. Jabs. Caught out by a surprise. We'll see this play again up top. But you see Ice,
he bounces
doesn't
backwards,
get the blink off correctly. Bangs into the walls. This is extra time where he can't instantly get in on it.
Mini-map of the Tiny. All the way up in that clump up.
Look at this.
Waits for it.
Here we go.
And finds it.
Straight in. 3-man avalanche. No way for Mineski to hold the screen when he took that one.
Incredibly comfortable position versus this Venge DP. 12K experience lead for them.
Down here. Trying to be sneaky.
Not the position.
Gonna cut the creep. Very hard here for FY to catch, and they do still have the push round. They get some damage onto the town. They'll take it out.
They're looking to brawl. 30 seconds left on this Aegis.
Armies with a. May just want to wait for that to get into his hand. Mineski are prepping themselves for a full team fight behind this tier 2 tower.
Armor from the Ogre Frostmage. Their Death Prophet ultimate is the majority that's going to be coming out, and then the other one is like Pango and Venge, but this Ice Armor is going to make a big difference.
There's still a double damage rune in the Bottle of Somnus. The Aegis will time out. No Aegis anymore for
KB, like you said. And they've already got Mech as well in Chalice, so they can all this. I mean, this Veno's sitting at 27 armor.
Overall, Eleanor, gold advantage at the moment for LGD. Find and force. Jump in, FY, opening up, they're looking straight away. The Ice Blast debuff is upon him, Swap is there. Mushi trying to get, they focus down Chalice. Mineski, next Nova falls, they've lost him, but so Mineski here. Jump in from FY, hold line for the Spirit Cypher, can he do it? Something's being forced away. Jump in, but they've lost it. Crits, triple kill. Cuts Mineski down from the back team for the big kills.
What a way to start the fight and like move Mineski out of position. They jump in, they get the crush, and they forward. Then the Swap and the Oracle ulti come out at the exact same time, and they're able to just run over the DD as well on Tiny. Somnus lives with 20 HP.
FY, he probably paid for this one. As they do manage to catch him left behind, but other than that, he's charging. Overall, definitely favoring LGD. And it really does feel we are vengeful core what does it offer in these fights other than a nice little aura? It's very hard for Mushi to play his game.
We'll see this fight again. You see that? You'll see the aggressive commits in.
Seeing Mushi to have to use the swap to just keep Moon alive.
They kill the Venomancer, but look at maybe he waits in the back.
And this double
and barely
damage,
lives.
Tiny just making a huge
Jumps down to 20 HP.
getting himself just far enough away.
I mean, they're feeling great. They've got a PA, a Slardar, and they're already this far ahead in the mid, before even the mid. The dream scenario for them.
I mean, what is the plan now for Mineski? What do they sort of look towards in LGD's heroes?
I feel like they need to get one of these big kill streaks out, especially like Insomnus. Being able to, the thing is, LGD's not really giving them the split up, the BKB as well as that level 18 on the Death Prophet first to give them that extra damage, because it does to kill this beast of a Tiny.
No surprise here, Somnus beating all the averages this game on his Tiny.
With the haste rune now in Tiny's bottle on this Phantom Assassin as well.
Two cores, absolutely terrifying. He's going to get jumped upon. F5's there. The follow-up comes through. And he dies even before his feet reach much. LGD. And now they're on to the high ground. Do have a buyback on Moon Mineski. But the tower's gone. Moon will buy back. But these raps will come through. Ice, get here to all over the toss. Get Same out of there. Somnus with the same play, but it will cost him his life. As F1 Mineski, Mushi gets bashed up. Arme's cleaning up. They've lost 4. They're going to lose Ice here and force the GG out of Mineski in this 27 minutes in. Mineski after the lanes.
They really ran away with this one so heavily. Mushi's pickoffs, but Ame got way too farmed on this Phantom Assassin. Got left corrosive haze with the PA. They make the way this fight as well and pretty much secure it from have the perfect early game with this with their Venge DP cores. They needed to have everything work in their favors, and LGD, they countered it perfectly.
They did. They got the thing on the Blink Dagger, and then he was in there getting 2, 3-man crushes off. And as you say, just sort of the core, the draft from Mineski, always going to have this weaknesses, and we saw LGD expose them.
Yep.
D leading this best of 5 grand finals with 1 game in at the moment.
Yes, indeed. LGD start things off in the lower bracket final against Virtus Pro with a victory in game number 1. The combination of the brand new 2 heroes together. Our panel here to particularly one man who got the predictions correct in the first game. Of course, it was Kyle.
Time in the pregame to discuss the holes in Mineski's draft, but 4 staff, Squishy, Int heroes, and a Pangolier. So there's no natural frontliner. Pango not really start a fight, and they have way too much single target. Not to in a DP core, like there's no actual hero that's utilized a damage amp from a Vengeful Spirit, and they just have such a difficult time taking a Venomancer. And coming into this tournament, I said there were 3 heroes that are Venomancer and Underlord. Underlord, Veno, it's too much damage for spells. And they're going to kill multiple heroes. They're going to end up taking a fight. They even have the Radiant Roche advantage. So at any point, they set up a ward wall, and they just use their spells. They hit a bunch of heroes, and all of a sudden, everyone on Mineski is dead. And
it was supposed to be the tank this game for them. Couldn't be the tank. They first picked the DP. She had like armor problems because of the Slardar plus PA. I'm not too sure about like the dagger into like the use into dagger. They lack initiating heroes. They lack someone that can start the fight, so the rest of them could follow up those kind of items. But it wasn't really. She dies so quickly in the fights.
Yeah. Multiple sources of the last TI, and it's very popular even in the now. You have AA, you have Slardar, and Death Prophet is the only frontliner for Mineski, and hard countered.
Yeah, that doesn't make a good team.
Yeah, I think that's a valuable lesson, isn't it, Jack? LGD must be thrilled after this first.
And then when you see like the save that Mineski has, I think you need a better raid boss to be enabling. I think the Death Prophet again will really to kind of urgently end fights and those fasted, and they have so many tools for blowing him up anyway, or for getting to the back line and just killing the supports or killing whoever needs to save her. So it just becomes a very Kyle mentioned. Radiant has several with the amp. You can kind of sneak it at any time with the Phantom Assassin. So I think Mineski started this game off okay, but it really cost them.
Yep. Maybe on the Tiny, he was the shining star, finding all the initiations and did really well in the lane, moved around dagger, like 11 minutes, if I wasn't mistaken. I You need a helm.
Yeah, Helm of the Dominator hero, into Force, into Greed. As long as the Veno gets his spells off, like he provides so much vision, and it makes playing heroes like PA and Tiny Venom are just hiding in the trees. A ward goes down. They're in a creep wave. Tiny sees suddenly Mineski has no choice but to turn tail and run. They also don't have the Helm of the Dominator. And who's utilizing the Venge Aura and the Pangolier armor
Venge
reduction?
buy the Helm.
Yeah, they just don't have a real carry. Like, you need to replace 2 of those heroes. I first picked the DP, right? So how do you change that one? They just think the lack of Disruptor was really on heavily with Ninja Boogie.
Oracle and Oracle doesn't work well together. Like generally, when you see Oracle, the other partner would be like a standard one that provides that kind of help. Apart from sitting behind the carry and just waiting for the right moment to save.
Right. It's also part of the reason AA is so good in the P Gyrocopter. You don't want to pick any of these heroes when they've first pursued an AA, and I still see no that's better than AA Tiny.
Okay.
A lot of choices. I'd probably give it to maybe this game. I think we've seen a lot of this Tiny TNC most notably as well with what it does uniquely at its position. And Tiny as a kind of durable frontliner also out of the mid lane. So I think for make obviously space for Ame to farm, and he needed to be careful as well when the rotations and ganks came. And I think he's been adjusting from this role before where he was just another big core. You want him to farm and carry the game. Now he gives you more versatility for Ame to harvest from.
This harvest
you managed to get your harvest back in there as well.
Why not like a reaper and a sower?
Yeah.
That works.
Someone plants the seeds, the other...
The whole ecosystem, Jack. Can't just have one thing, right?
Yeah, himself, but that's not true.
Ame's not playing. We get carried away with too many farming. In Shanghai, you've tuned in for the grand final of DOTA Terrific World. Game 1 is already in the history books, and China has the lead right now. But will it stay that way? We'll find out. Has been a week of history here at DAC 2018. First amongst which we have an SEA Chinese team trying to win their first major outside of the international and have broken a long streak of defeat against before they headed into game 1 of the grand final. That one's gone by the wayside as well. They lead by 1-0. Second draft, our panel are back with us once more to break things down and look ahead to that second game. And imagine second draft, Kyle.
I believe so. I think that the Venom last pick caught him off guard, and I don't think too fancy but it feels
they did get a bit cute though, didn't they, with that first draft?
Yeah, it gets what they expected. And
Yeah.
I've fallen victim to that too in drafts where you pick something you think is really good, and then you're at your last pick and you're like, all together. And certainly wasn't a Venge, and it's the second time we've seen a late pick Venge that seems to have to this tournament.
Indeed. LGD have picked first pick for this second game, and Mineski.
The priority is first pick, followed side earlier, but I think first pick advantage just pass up.
Yeah, the only team that have deviated from that, funnily enough, were LGD, who had a little run where they decided that that seems to have come to an end as well.
I think Radiant just has either to protect your jungle, and it's really, I think, like that triple, the Radiant top shrine area seems near impossible for Dire to ever.
We get there. Draft number 2. Jack, thoughts?
If you're Mineski, I think if you're LGD, you either want to get rid of or take the Underlords, probably very high priority hero. Don't just keep playing as they have been.
Yeah, we should mention that, shouldn't we? There is the opportunity, easier stuff from Mineski. They can play the Brood, they can play the Huskar.
It's just don't get out drafted. You look at that game, and guys, because you first pick Death Prophet and they immediately go AA Tiny, and I think that is one of those counters that's just been figured out. And man, did I not say this? You get all the way to just overall first pick, but I'm really not surprised. What would you actually do to an Underlord? I think I'm not sure if they'd be confident early picking Rubik like that.
10 seconds.
Bat Rider against
You can't open it with it though. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, Tiny's safe.
Tiny's okay. It's not too great. Like you mentioned, not too great against Underlord.
See, I don't know. These teams have a different style. Like I personally place more weight enemy openers. It's part of the reason was left when there's a Death Prophet first picked. And if you're playing against an LGD first pick, I don't like this for 2 reasons. One, I don't actually think these heroes are very good hype buyer, so eventually he'll just negate AA's damage output. Yeah, you can outlane anything. And in addition, you're just stealing the opener that LGD just used against you. Day and a BO3 watching them to prepare, and your answer Tiny, like it.
Yeah, I know
Not
what
a
you mean.
fan.
Shit. What happened last game? They did this and it worked. We tried to understand it during the break.
Well, they might have more of a plan because they banned it. They accounted for situations where they would be playing against it too.
Yeah, it's just the thing is in the previous draft they had Oracle Willow support. Same thing to Tiny, he slaughters you. This disrupt go to play against and trap him in the pit. He's not able to status resist his way out of anything, and he's going to take tons of damage. And LGD's opener, like significantly. I feel like they're already in a point where their draft is.
Bro, 3 more
I'm
heroes.
relaxed, man.
5 seconds remaining.
Void ban. I mean, that's the typical. We favor a lot in the panel. Free initiation for the Firestorm.
So they get to, if favorable matchups, they're going to have tons of versatility with these picks. They can do essentially whatever they want. Answer again, 4th pick. I think that hero is super undervalued and very strong here.
Vano AA. Do what they did last game.
Yeah, I mean, it was something Liquid ran at TI7. Optic pick it a couple times in qualifiers and at this event. Combinations in the game just because of how much raw damage you can have to hit your spells.
Yeah, they've only lost 1 game so far at DAC.
There's a counter they're kind of setting up for. It feels like they're banning heroes that are good against something like a sniper, against the Underlord. And you can, I think it's seen as a hero that does well against it, and you can kind of protect his vulnerabilities.
Support. I think that's one of the best things to deal with. You just grab a tree and zone him really heavily, and then later on you can toss him back. I think it's super effective. You really want to be playing core Tiny in this game.
Can counter the Uber as well.
There is a Razor in the pool, something we haven't seen both teams. I think it'd be more likely Mineski takes it, and if they do, I think it would be this to just settle on a support. But like I said, I think that 4 Tiny has to be attractive, but I'm just not sure if that's something. Taking a lot of time with.
It's a tough one because there's like too many factors to.
Yeah, this is the most important pick. As second pick.
Decide what is the rest of the direction of the draft with this pick here.
You in. Like, do you pick a utility? Naga Siren. All right, so they're committing to the Tiny core. Naga picked up, I suppose, but I don't know if they're even thinking against the Underlord. And personally, I think it's weak against Disruptor too because he just finds you at some point. You love having an Underlord about song.
I think I'm seeing something like they are going to run some tri-lane and maybe a Timber Saw against an Underlord to win that match. But I personally not sure about that matchup because I know Underlord does okay before Timber is level 6.
Luna here have this unbeatable tri hero or a Nana hero. But you
Should-
definitely
should
pick
be
your
Ice.
one.
Yeah, it should be Ice to win the Underlord.
Yeah, it's like Luna or Gyro, but I just think Luna's better. And it's just easier to snowball with
Radiant team pick.
Shadow Fiend. SF Underlord.
So much team fight.
So much, yeah, exactly. And the damage reduction, the Atrophy Aura, any hero Mineski picks here, be it Gyro, be it Luna, you know, whatever finishes their draft, if they walk, their damage is going to be reduced, not just by Atrophy, which is going to be up to, I believe, for 50%, and all of a sudden, it doesn't matter whether you have a 10-second BKB, from they go with the Gyro, and I'm just, man, how many times have we seen Gyro against a grim situation? Not sure quite what LGD wants to go for here. They just need some
They need
Tusk
good
is in the
lane.
pool.
The only way Mineski is gonna win this game is like you snowball through the lanes, you kill Roshan, then you try to. They have to lean more towards the winning the game by snowball the lane, basically, pretty much right now.
I think you just take over games on this hero. There's nothing else that really matches the pure save potential, and it's only
Clockwork, Clockwork is
No.
good against 3 of their heroes, and
Yeah,
they have
but-
Clockwork SF.
you're right. Okay, I'll give you possible. I believe that's probably the Debro, and it's Clock or Tusk, and it's rolled on Tusk. Or do we just give
I
maybe
guess
12
I guess
souls?
you're right. Tusk is just like overall, I think much.
Don't know a lot of song, right? They don't have a instant follow-up, and it even functions before the Meteor Hammer would go off if you were to get one.
The only argument is it's good against the Naga, it's good against the AA, it's good against the Gyro. That one there.
It's also so good with Disruptor and Underlord, right?
Mm.
It just you have so many methods of controlling choke points.
Another direction with their last pick. I think of something that combos better with the AA and gives them that front line. So something like a CK
Radiant
rounded out.
team back.
I think you actually go the opposite direction. KB on the Gyro, have him play, maybe happen with the Tiny. I think you last pick a Tinker. Tinker is like my go-to PTA, but the problem is it's too single target. You want something more to synergize with the Naga and a win condition. This DK gets utterly destroyed by Underlord and SF. It's the same, just don't have their survivability or the damage output. They run you over and have BKBs, and you're still working on like an armlet, and you're just. They need magical damage output. They need raw damage. They have an AA that will just pump damage into the fights.
So for LGD, they need like a laner, good laner. Juggernaut, but as a AA,
LGD's turn to pick.
I think Juggernaut maybe can hold the lane though. Like Juggernaut, Disruptor, Tusk.
I could see.
And
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, last. I could see maybe a Troll. I actually think Troll might be a hero for the most part, and it's just another BKB hero. You really want it for LGD.
Radiant team pick.
You gotta tinker. I don't know what else saves your draft here. You need blind. You need magic damage. You need wins you the game against these heroes. Anything else.
Magnus.
10 seconds remaining.
Or the Naga or something, but I just don't. I am not a believer in Core Naga. You need to put ice on the Tiny. If they win Gyro cores, right? How are they BKBs? Like they just get wrecked, and they don't have wave clear either. Like AA not.
In the lane and just pick the Timber. Like seriously.
Dude, Timber.
It's just a Viper.
It's possible, but then LGD just outfarm. Not bad, but I feel like they don't have enough for maybe's SF. Wow.
Choose your hero.
It gives at least so it does deal with the BKBs I was harping on for quite some time. They always land this. I was close. If it had been Tinker, I would have deserved that moniker. But thank you, production. I have an answer now at the very least. They have a win condition of the damage output of the Gyro and the Tiny. So it's just, a throwaway. But I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, let's go down the line.
I don't want to go first.
Hero that struggles in lane though. I don't like this last pick and
Winter? Hurry.
I'll just stick with Mineski.
Okay. Carl?
Man, 50-50 for me. I got to go with LGD.
We've had our predictions, and we're ready to rock and roll in game number 2.
Thank you, Red Eye. Yes, game 2 now between LG with Fogged, and we've got some. The Ice Magnus has not been popular at all. It's been a very hard hero to make work. But if anyone's ever going to be able to do it, Ice, to put on that hero.
We saw what? 2 or 3 of them? Oh, let me see that win rate.
What's the win rate like for Mag?
2, because I remember Mad played it twice, right?
Oh, yeah, the OG
And it lost
Magnus.
It lost twice, as far as I remember.
Of course, but we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2, Mineski LGD. Ice Smack.
He's got what? This is 4 of the same heroes that they played earlier today. Disruptor, Tusk, and Underlord.
Yeah, Troll Disruptor, Tusk, definitely I remember. And I would not be surprised if there was an Underlord slid into...
That was the Rift that they used.
Oh, of course, yeah. It was indeed. This was, you're absolutely obviously a lineup that they are very... And as sort of the panel was saying, a lineup that's just, it's going to be potentially a little pressure on Ice this game on his Magnus to make big things happen on a hero that can be very hard to make.
It is like the wave clear, so they can slow down the push, and also to get that BKB piercing disable, so that the Gyro can... This is a Gyro versus Underlord. I think we've seen this matchup time and time again. LGD's lineup. I'm really glad that Kyle actually brought up a big factor, that damage reduction between that and the Underlord. And now FY is also playing the Tusk, so they've control.
See some brilliant performances from FY this LAN, and specifically on his Tusk. See how, once again, Jabs and Ice keeping their heads up towards the top.
Same thing on their offlane, just pulling the wave. Right. Aggro try at the beginning from Mineski.
And how well Arme can his Troll Warlord.
Yeah, I'm mostly going to be watching this mid lane to see at the start, because he's getting no help.
Bottom lane, FY.
Bottom.
Does get the shards onto Mushi, but Mushi actually turning and fighting back with Ninja Boo. He also taking quite a fair bit of damage himself. Jabs.
Trying to block the pole camp, so he's taking that extra damage. So both sides, it's not warded blocked. Now it is actually, so Mineski, they ward, put a sentry down, and also the bottom lane. So much, right? These dual lanes come out, block the pole, don't let them reset the lane. He did his homework, because I do believe LGD.
Bottom. FY giving quite a chase down onto Mushi, but now Mineski, they'll be ready with a FY. Jabs trying to chase and looking for that. Mineski claim first blood here as Jabs just now try lane and make sure that Mineski can find these opportunities to get the...
Yeah, Ice already got enough top by getting that initial pull wave. He's actually last hitting 7-1, and you see mid versus Shadowfiend 9-6 to 4-0 expected.
I make sure that he can grab the bounty runes for himself, but it's not going to happen. Jabs. Gallus. Ninja Boogie. AA back, but indeed we'll see how Somnus rotates. It is expected to be very tough.
Especially when you get 2 side lanes so much. So the important thing in this Mineski tri lane is the pull now available is get the pulls off and also get these, try to get any kills possible. Playing with tri versus a dual lane, you're going to start getting limited in that if you don't pick those.
Seeing now, able to get some of those early CS, so has now got at least the 9 souls. Contest a little bit better. The CS against Moon's Tiny.
Aquila, get that extra mana raise, and Jabs gonna zone FY away. Having those early boots and windlace is pretty speedy.
Somnus has to sort of head over to make sure that to back off to safety bottom lane
Chalice.
again. Have to make the attempt for damage. Chilling touch as well. Chalice taking heavy damage here with the wraparound from Jab. There's no escape for the Underlord. And this bottom lane, the tri lane
was like mainly because of what Jabs did there. He chased FY all the way out of the lane, all the way through the river, and then because he can make that quick rotation over. But during all this, Troll is full free farming top. Ice is at least level 3.
Got a little quite comparable to the Troll and an mid. The trap is set. FY comes in with a rotation. Moon will turn with the... He's going to get the kill! Ice with the skewer play. Coming in to save the day. And LGD lose both. They did not expect Ice to come in like that.
No, definitely not. In majority of heroes, you would die to that triple raise, but look at the per level. 1200 HP. He doesn't care. And a soul ring too. We'll give him the soul ring extra strength as well.
That kill on the Tiny, it looked like a surefire easy kill.
Yeah. FY looking to punish this mid. Jabs will as well place one. Warded quickly by LGD.
As you say, the warding was the primary target. A kill would be nice as well for Moon.
It's actually pretty crazy how much health that hero has. Even though you're like 0 armor, like this Tiny was level 5.
1-2. I mean, look, this looks like a dead Tiny.
7-1 Fairy Fire.
And then he's there screwing FY away, so he couldn't get the extra right clicks in needed to bring. But as you mentioned, it's scary in the sense that Arme, I don't think he's missed a crit. In 35 for 21. The same to be said for
Mushi's doing great too,
very close behind down bottom. Being involved with getting those kills in that safe lane.
Yeah, and this is the word first. So a very important thing as support players is getting important to watch where the opposing supports are going to be placing theirs. And Ninja Boogie with that extra movement speed from Vizrun from Chalice.
In terms of kills for Mineski this game, but say LGD's farm on the court. Why not really with enough damage? A Siren.
All level 3. Xnova's no points as well in case he wants to make rotations for those glimpse levels and kinetics. We tend to see 1-1.
A nice, by the looks of it, I think you're picking up this Siren.
Yeah. And he used to go Dominator even before it was cool on the map.
Sweet little plays with like the Centaur, having that RP into the stun. Lots of ways to play around. Very nice.
Ooh, they're not going to get the obs. They'll be able to get the sentry, but I'm pretty sure they're coming earlier.
And managing to lead the CS against the Tiny, of course, at this stage with the level mass souls collected.
Xnova into that rotation mid that he had earlier, and also just be able to sap that experience from the neutral camps, the camp, to make sure that Ice has to play a little bit more consistently in the lane. And now Ice.
And going the Stewart, trying to keep himself away, and he should just be fine. Thunderstrike, not enough to finish. Comes in with the root. Mushi did try and TP by Xnova.
Maybe now, though. Getting chased out by Mushi. Pulls him away.
Mushi. Is he going to be able to find this with the flag? On it! Mushi!
Lane ward. Giving him...
Ice back into the... Looking for him. Ice goes for the Stewart, but Arme's got the kill. Instantly TP's it away.
There's a hasted Tiny, though. Xnova.
Always got to hide. Hide and seek professional here. As Xnova.
That was boss.
Very sweet plays coming out from both sides here. And 9 minutes in it, Irushi and Arme in a beautiful place at the top, both safe laners.
He stack up top as the Shadow Fiend.
That should pretty much put him back level with the Moon Tiny.
Gets those nice levels. It was Ice who stacked that, though, so it wasn't a support who's actually going to get from that SF cleaning it. Now they give Xnova actually this top lane, and Ame's going to jungle a bit more since he's got the map and whatnot. Getting this disrupted level 6 will make them able to put more pressure.
We'll come forward to
Mushi TP's toward top. Wants to set something up here. He does. They're pinging it out. They know that camp is blocked, so. See, Somnus is already going to start backing away. This gives a lot of space to Chalice now, who is level 6, getting close to level 7, getting close and close to those Dominators, as we're mentioning.
Arme down here. They could look to put some pressure onto this tier 1 tower.
Yep.
Only the got some of that XP. Ninja Boogie. Get him.
They're making the long smoke rotation down.
TP coming through from Moon on the front of it all, and that will aim for Arme as they head up the lane. Can they find any sort of grab Mineski? Jabs may. They should have the magical to bring down this Underlord, and they do. Another kill for Moon. Quick movements around the map. It's 3. Having a very strong impact. Very nice lane that was set up for him. Yeah, definitely able to play more of the tempo that Mineski need him to in comparison.
Jabs. Scouts out Ame. Jabs.
Ame. Yeah, he's just going to run this one down. Jabs.
A bash hitting.
There's more TPs coming in. If they can find sort of the FI tries, range is not quite there. It's always going to be a hard one. But to get himself away from what was 4 members of LGD coming down to see if they could get...
Level 6 now on Xnova. With that disruptor, gives them a lot more catch like we were mentioning. And Ninja Boogie just about level 6. A lot now from these teams, especially that are in the really prioritizing getting those level 6 on the supports and just moving their cores around constantly. All about those aggressive moves early on.
So the build for Somnus this game as well.
He
is going for the Eagles. Do you like that this game?
The hero that moves around and gets kills while the Troll Warlord... I think he knows also that Gyro's big explosive plays.
Yule Scepter as well can be incredibly strong against a match sort of precast, make it very hard for him to get a blink RP without being thrown up into the sky.
And Mushi now actually getting grabbed up here.
Sends him back in, but indeed Mushi is going to be able to keep himself out of the Static Storm. Not
with the DD, with AA Blast put on him, he actually is able to commit in.
He does get the wraparound, trying to run. D won't be able to quite get the further control, but still finding Mushi's Gyro to take this tier 1 tower, and those sort of movements keeping of Mushi this game on his Troll Warlord. Leads the net worth, 7k.
Wants to make something happen top. Chalice instantly ripped away, and the AA Blast was coming, so smart of him to do so. Pressure onto this tower, though, with this dominated creep.
Bit of pressure here from Ice. LGD helps him on his funds towards the blink.
Mushi recognizes how much magical damage and catch they're going to actually get on LGD in the next few moments right after the Yasha. It's kind of like a frontliner too, so that the Tiny and the shins off constantly. It's going to slow his farm down though.
Mineski with this ward, they know that they're looking to find the Ice Blast, but they won't find the connect. Disrupted. X-Nova's gone. Arme trying to turn, but the song comes through. It comes off the me. Mushi, as he tells Jabs to shut the heck up. We're for singing and dancing. We're killing.
Game-winning vision, right? That's what we've been talking about a lot in this tournament. These rotations down. 1K gold lead now for Mineski, as well as a 1 again. Looking for Chalice.
Quick combo. Moon.
Even at the Ice Blast coming in for good measure.
Minute from bottom lane to top lane, making
The power of Tiny.
next play.
He's also going to have Empower in majority of these instances too, so he can farm, but
Somnus. He is going to try for this, but there was Ice. Somnus. That ain't Ice to be behind Moon, but that was a very greedy attempt at a play that made him fall flat on his as well. It was hovering around behind him.
That's a big mistake there.
That was... The greed did not blink, but he ends up getting stuck. Mineski instantly in with the counterplay, and now they've got the push onto the tier 1 mid.
You almost feel like he could have said he didn't expect to have Ice right.
Do that. Just go for the Requiem and hope for the walk-up. And that would have probably been... We see he gets punished for it now. Why? Wrong. FY. He's going to get taken down. Cool down. Mushi helps them find the kill. As Mineski now 13 for 3, 3 at the top, with the 3 cores of Mineski making the plays happen. And Ice.
It's going to give them a lot of avenues to be able to fight into that, especially from a draft like this. Underlord in particular, but Troll and SF, you know LGD wants to make their way into that dancing around that pit.
In the jungle, who they found, Moon in with the combo, Ice Blast as well. Somnus, he's by a shrine, but no heals will help.
This is death. Starting to crumble a bit here.
Up top, Boogie trying to speed himself away here with the Vortex. The glimpse is there though. Nova up down the snow. Snow cut. Ice. RP will be back in 10 seconds. Level 2.
This is 0-4-0 in this game so far. Having a very hard time versus all this burst damage.
Wants to kick something off. The snowball's coming out. A quick glimpse from X-Nova. Will pull. But it really does see the Tiny play. We saw game 1, Somnus. He had an amazing time. This game to sort of take the spotlight on the Tiny.
Yeah, 6-0-4 on him too.
He's doing it.
All of his rotations have been working. They're the heavy lifters. The heavy lifters really gonna have to be Ame. Already with Treads SNY and that more though, as we've been seeing.
We have seen it before here in LGD games, Ame being able to pull it for us to Tiny.
Siege creep. They're battling.
Oh, this is hype. Bit unfair, really.
Mineski on the prowl though, continuing this aggression with the Tiny.
In he goes, quick combo. Goodbye, FY.
Sending for, you know, just a casual 300 on the Tiny with that Empower.
Extra bit of potency to the combo that Zeros to survive through if they get jumped upon.
Nova not able to find the glimpse. And LGD, they're really put on the back foot here. They're now just having to, they're just trying to fight for these pickoffs, but Mineski, they're not giving them the opportunities. And look at top, they could.
There's the certain fear of any time that LGD show themselves in the lane, will be moving around hunting for those pickoffs. But this is safe. Keeps himself back behind the tower. Shadowblade, of course, will be the next item for Moon, as he knows that this is just constantly keep down the map and catching LGD's heroes off guard.
And Mushi now already has the BKB too. The item timings very early in the game. And there we go, back into the pit. Dominator creeps go. I like how that. I think I've seen it like.
Really is incredibly valuable information. Said especially in a game with the 2 lineups that we have here.
Yeah, Mushi. Looks like this is a bait attempt. LGD, they've got the read though. Chalice now continuing to force out bottom. They don't see anything. They don't see anyone on the map either. And now they quickly blink in.
A full. It's about waiting for the BKB on the troll. Then maybe they can try and find some fights themselves.
As well as the Shadow Fiend. Chalice is starting to get some item timings here. Has the hood as well as that Dominator finished up. He's pretty much just. But Mineski, they're looking to punish LGD while they're split up, forcing the
20-minute mark. Fortification does come out from LGD, but no fear at the moment, knowing that they have this comfortable lead and advantage, and that LGD are very scared about taking these head-on engagements. someone towards the mid lane if LGD do send anybody out of there.
Trying to keep that pressure up, since they know LGD is just playing the farm game for those BKBs at the time, for the time being. Mushi goes bottom, instantly there's going to be a play happening. And now the game does slow down, and it gets a little bit hard for LGD, because with their lineup, the window's closed a bit here, especially versus the gyrocopter, because of that early BKB purchase. Hope for that Yules play anymore.
Is hide in the trees down.
With this ward vision, they saw the path that LGD's taking to the Ancients.
A P4 Ice, so Moon looking to get in on the front. Moon, and they find a good opportunity in with the double kill. In as Mineski, play after play, pick off after pick down on LGD. See if Belgian test, but it's going to be so hard, especially with Mineski having such a fantastic line. Siren, the RP, a very hard thing for LGD to slow down. Sure, it won't be the quick. Some Mineski are a little bit scared.
The supports respawned.
So line being drawn. Moon, blade. See what he can catch. Got the high ground here. LGD drop down a low ground ward.
Siege creep. Very slowly, 5 more hits.
Giving it his all. Look at him.
So they've got BKB now on Shadow Fiend. Troll Warlord almost as well, now with the D.
Let's take some of these Ancients here from...
Mineski placing more Roche wards, opposite side. LGD all playing as a unit. Now the BKB is coming out. This could be where they look to take a fight with those 2 BKBs as well as the pipe.
Who are you trying to catch? Someone that you want to start the fight on?
It depends on whoever's looking out of position.
Moon. A little bit scared of going in. Now,
it's pretty hard for them to really bring down the gyro, so I think anybody but the gyrocopter is pretty. They don't have that that control through the BKB. It's just really the Tusk, and if the Troll Warlord can get on top, and with the
see what they can find. Jabs is right by the shrine. They've got the Yule set up. Moon comes in with the avalanche for the RP. They've got the control. They're fighting by a shrine. This is a huge loss too, aren't they? He's trying to man fight up against them, but he can't quite bring down Mushi. They've got the control on with the smoke and choke. Last 3. Nova's being chased down as well as the missile from Moon, and they'll find themselves another. Not the play that LGD would hope for there with their in like that and just forcing the fight too heavily handed by that shrine. Ice spawn with the play.
They didn't even get the beat. Even if he did, probably gets brought down anyway from the flak plus that RP. And this is what we talked about. This is why they wanted to pick that Magnus, to deal with those BKBs, to get that disil.
Moon, he knows someone's around it. I mean, this pace that Mineski have played this game at has been
means 21-5.
I mean, it's a 10k lead.
Yeah.
See this replay. They think that they can just go for the Naga Siren, but it's ever so deep, Fog.
The snowball brings in 2. Perfect blink out.
A lot of time being wasted there because of that RP, and he just can't quite kill off Mushi at this stage. As you said, this gyro a little too big to take down, and I think as soon as that jump was made off the back of coming out of the smoke, LGD knew. Moon. Suddenly turning into a very difficult.
Already an Eagle Song picked up for Mushi. Invasion versus both Troll and SF, and their physical damage is pretty much only controlled for the most part in these team fights as the Shadow Fiend. So he sees extra 2, so just doubling down on the magic damage. Hard right now for LGD. Ame getting an Arcane.
With the Empower, Moon just doing so much.
Keeps the farm up.
Have a bit of a go on to Chalice as Chalice gets himself out of there.
Not really looking to force anything until they get their next big items. They're just sitting back. They're like, all right, come at us.
They can farm.
We've got RP. We can farm. We've got.
Both sides is happy as well. Dark Troll Summoner, first matchup that we really all turned up today to see. And seeming to be quite unfairly matched.
Man, it's not fair.
And in comes the Troll as he out-trolls.
I'm pretty surprised, to be honest, that that maybe he's going. I can understand it in some, but this time he has a trollized the battle trance a bit. And I feel like he's going to be a bit limited, especially in any pickoffs from the Yules. So I'm thinking because of that, it's just looking harder.
Play for Mushi nearly complete. They're going to... Mushi shows in lane, and maybe with that can catch out LGD with the other 4 heroes. They have the RP. In the charge.
The supports are farming
the one to play with his life as Moon comes in. Quick with the slap. No sort of glimpse is going to get that time over. He'll pay as well. There'll be a buyback from FY, but X-Nova will fall. Continuing to get these grabs with these smoke rotations.
Ame has a Hyperstone as well, so maybe if they can find the Magnus, they could look to try to take a fight, but still looking.
We've got to worry about that. Go towards mid lane, LGD. Trying for the play. Ice is still in. Only catches out FY. They'll go with the Avalanche. They do manage to finish off the touch, but Ame indeed moving forward with the BKB, trying to finish down. And Mushi has the damage to pick him off. The song from Jabs has the vision onto both of them. There is a Dark Rift available. Is he going to get the chance to get it out? Taken down by Mineski. Only Somnus and X-Nova surviving. They just cannot. Mineski are just giving them no chance to turn this one around.
They're already like concerned with this game because into that fight to try to dish any damage out. You saw they tried to space themselves too. Ame was like, all right, this art. He has to hold that BKB. He wanted to hold it for as long as possible because he knows if I BKB, I'm just getting netted.
And he jabs every fight, just saving that net for the BKB troll.
Uses the Static Storm actually on the creep wave top, by the way. So they're just trying to push lanes in. How ahead Mineski is at the moment, and LGD a ton of trouble this game, getting further and further behind.
Play again.
You're gonna see it doesn't bring him in the snowball, of course. FY or Ame staying in range for him, and go in the fight, and then he gets hit by a flag. So
he's out of there. Yeah. Is lucky enough to get the blink out off the back. You saw just no intention from Somnus. It was going to be another charge that was just impossible for him.
Entire game too. We haven't seen Ninja Boogie placing down these. I mean, this one's a bit unorthodox wards on the right side, and then this one closer to the base. Just being now in the base of LGD. He's been very sneaky on this AA.
To the tier 3 tower. Lane getting pushed in as well by Mushi. They are ready to really pressure LGD. They have the RP. The Same does manage to get the split push onto a tier. Are in trouble.
Jabs is level 16 with a pipe and a medallion too, so he's on this Naga Siren.
He's coming in. They're trying to slow down Mineski, but his task, if that just combos him down, finishes off the racks. Mineski, as LGD can seemingly try and push out the side, but Moon's in with the combo. The help of Somnus, they do claim the life of Moon. He's coming in, jumps in with the RP, looks to hold down this troll wall of Somnus with the back, but Ice, he's got the beat up for a second, and indeed LGD much for them in this game too, as Mineski strike back with an incredible sense of power. 31 minutes, 29 lead. It really was flawless stuff from Mineski this time. Just the strong point so far this series.
And it really probably, I mean, it's already
that
first
seems
pick,
to be the hero.
It's just been able to find so many pickups, which does not have a great win rate here at this aggressive lineup.
Absolutely, the 6-1.
Yeah,
a very hard game when you go for sort of this Yule's Blink build. It's sort of a greedy build, a build that you go to against Mineski. These two teams that are very evenly sort of leveled. It's
I mean, they just got ran at, and they weren't able to really respond. They were just kind of farming and trying to catch back up.
Oh, there we have it, ladies. For sure in this best of 5 grand finals as it stands 1-1, Mineski style with an Ice Magnus.
Thank you very much, Jody Pixel and Fogged, bringing you, of course, the grand final. We'll return back to them for games of 3. Both teams showing us their good, pretty much how sort of.
I mean, I said it's good.
Yeah. Are you these heroes and then just plays incredible game?
Key things in that game. One was how dependent on the Naga net into AAL just Mag is the same thing. It's an old school hard counter to SF and Troll, and Ice actually has played that hero a lot. But I mean, when the LGD actually like can't ever fight the Tiny and the Gyro with Magnus, and their supports also add some fight in comparison to LGDs, which actually die anyway.
Lost from the atrophy aura from the
key hero so far in the grand final. It's the Tiny.
Yeah, we talked about it during Hero. The kind of unique skill set for as well, but it's durable and it creates so much tempo for you, helps you fights. This hero we've seen just so crucial for them in Armel. It's just been a very important hero for this series. But in this case, you have that Underlord. It's been such a dangerous hero that even teams like Liquid have banned at first phase, being answered by Mineski as a kind of B. And then this hero in the past was so popular because one of the reasons is he trades up for cores. Like with kill a 2 or 1 position if you catch them at all, unless there's some other answer to him. A lot of credit to Winter for seeing this pick, and a lot of credit to Ice for playing it well as expected.
Between maybe him, maybe played well the whole tournament.
I have to watch it. I think Ice has been the best. At least very much the most consistent. There was this post on Reddit, a question.
Oh, you reading Reddit?
Is Ice for feedback and
Reddit people don't know what they're saying.
I didn't say which subreddit. I was on NASCAR. Ice. Is he the most talented? If you look back at the history, he's all on his teams, whatever role he was playing, and he definitely the game at the moment.
I mean, I would agree with you, except for me. Anyway,
sure, this game,
Moon?
but I
Okay.
think that might just be the tiny factor, and I
Yeah.
don't know if we were talking about their own special meta, like to be first pick or ban, and what'll come through because of it.
Yeah, if we get there by game 4 or 5, this phase compared to kind of figured it out as to what they want to ban. But this of game number 2, it is Moon, aka Nana, and he.
Having the Underlord available, obviously AA, which they've first been against EG, that's something else they have to consider as well. And then tiny counters early or take one-on-one, it doesn't necessarily solve the problem of what this tiny provides in the early. Maybe a hero to just counter with like a pick or two.
Yeah, okay. We're going to get more from all to a break right now. We are at game number 3 next up with the draft ahead of us in this. It's LGD versus Mineski, game 3. Magnus Mineski, it's tied up at 1-1, and welcome back to the Dota 2 Asia presented by Perfect World. It is game number 3's draft ahead of us. Our players to catch up exactly where they are right now in this grand final. Give them a little bit of a breather off both teams. Effectively, it's a best of 3 now, so should be, in theory, a lot easier to predict for our panel. Yeah, this one's tough, not least of which because they're very finely balanced together.
I think drafting both teams really understand one another pretty well at this point as the series develops, but predicting who wins is tough.
And for the heroes that you know would get banned.
LGD
Leaving the Terrorblade though this time, and they're going to go immediately into the opener, the AADK.
Yeah, Liquid ran this a bit as well. I wonder if LGD goes a bit different direction this game. The vision drafts with an early vision pickup as well. Or whether it's a coddle or something different this game.
We did say the Tiny might get banned, and it's Mineski that have chosen to do so.
Razor in the pool as well. To ban the Underlord instead of the... I think that OD in the first phase is a lot easier to deal with than the Underlord, and they also obviously did not want to first the Venomancer.
Piece of shit.
You can already see just how... It's a super good hero, can be played in every role pretty much, and the ward will be able to blink
It's also on Dire where you get those efficient triangles to place your wards in.
I'm telling you guys, this is a game against Terrorblade and Venom. You want to take advantage of that?
Yeah, I have, by the mid-game, wards and illusion have the ability to threaten LGD's heroes, have control, essentially for free. And DK is already really sad.
Of course, fans kind of made fun of LGD supporters a little bit last year with the whole LGD's invincible, and then LGD picked up steam towards the end of last year, and here we are again, living up to those what was once used to make fun of them a bit.
A great DPC season, really, have they, Jack?
No, I think seen as similar. He's a very vocal guy, good captain of the team, very charismatic. But again, with his hero pool adjustments, playing the 4-5, he was maybe a bit time. So.
I say they haven't had a good season. They have reached 2 finals, losing to Liquid at Starlight, of course, reaching the final at PGL Bucharest Open back.
The LGD Timber saw committed to 2 cores, and Timber actually with that because Shaker is so grim to play against Venomancer. Played that hero is the worst matchup. It's near impossible to ever get a blink off. Like you're rendered Fisher.
Don't worry, there might be a spider to take care of that Venom. Don't worry. That's I don't think they're gonna get it. Thinking about it,
you could brood here.
You could just brood here. Like if you get close to the Venom with your passive, you can actually run him down and kill him.
It's possible, but then like their whole initiation is based on these blink daggers, and that kind of scares me.
DK and the Earthshaker. So you rather have like maybe a Tide, then you have a tank, then you have the ankle smash against the.
I'd rather have a Broodmother.
Oh yeah, of course, but we assume LGD is not gonna give them a really good last pick.
Has to be banned. A Kunkka.
The gyro count.
Yep. We haven't seen it too much. It's been played by EG in the mid.
It's also a really good AA counter. Live through the Ice Blast, and your sustain can become relevant again. Very strong with batting lockdown, and it's also excellent because if you look at the Venomancer Kunkka combo, if they both get their ults off, it just Flak isn't killing you, and the Venom.
The other thing is really good against TB is it keeps you at low health, so you get a cases.
Double save, double control for the Terrorblade.
I think this is.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
it seems very strong.
What if you go with the Doom on Mineski?
Well, that counted the TB earlier, wasn't it?
The problem is just the into a Venomancer. That's why I think part of your talents are incredible. You have a great laning phase, vision for your team, and you can farm. It's just a low risk.
Oh no, they've forgotten about it. So they thought it might be assumption, of course, but deep breath.
Could grab something like a Sand King. Might help them against it.
You could also pick
if they figure it
on LGD. I think it's pretty solid. Could also just go with like your standard Bane or Rubik.
I think whatever you pick, the last pick for Mineski.
I think to be fair, I agree. It's still good, excellent matchup because you just one-shot the spiders. Once you hit phase boots level 7, they literally all die in a cleave. Okay, really excellent hero against Gyro and Shaker. It has a great matchup in this. Forces a Force Staff on one of these heroes. I actually really like that pick.
Here's the question: is it going to be a game 3?
Doom, like you guys mentioned, could be
Doom would be the better one in terms of the counter, wouldn't it?
Quap, but I feel like they.
Ice Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Ice. And Ice doesn't. I can tell you, Ice doesn't like to play puck.
Maybe they do just go Tide here, try to overwhelm.
Yeah, Tide is the other one that I said. It's like in general.
And they need something that can buy those teamfight items because you need a pipe on somebody. Guard isn't bad either. You want a force staff. So I'd be super down for a Tide. You want a Helm of the Dominator purchaser. It was also banned last game by LGD, last ban, so you know that they respect it. Mother.
Easy Katka.
Such a good game for the Brood, wasn't it?
The matchup. I think the clockwork makes the Brood. Kunkka is the answer, both in the laning phase and throughout the game, because that's how you end up killing the Brood. You also clear the spiders.
Maybe he's going to take that Kunkka, isn't he? He's going to be a core.
Not going to be able to get a good laning phase, even though he can be really good against the Brood later. So get a 2-1 lead.
Okay, Mineski for Winter, Jack.
I think they thought so. At least one answer to the Brood. So I think they're ready for it, and I think they will be able to answer the Brood and not get run over. So I'm going LGD.
It's really a 50-50. It's going to come down to the lane and go either way because it's just does Brood run over the game or not.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Mineski.
Okay. Reluctant. Rather than one reluctant prediction anyway. 1 for the 1 in terms of Mineski and the goes down. In game 3, we have a Brood.
Absolutely, Red Eye. And of course, yesterday we did see Mineski able to show their Huskar to
Sure
LGD.
did.
Today, what do we reckon? The panel seemed pretty split. Is this a game where you can see Ice just fully taking over?
That supports. It's already looking, I mean, it's definitely looking like a good Brood game. As long as they run over the lane. I actually haven't seen the Kunkka versus Brood matchup. I think that doesn't go completely backwards.
So the core Kunkka position, and if he indeed is enough to answer to, ladies and gentlemen, getting into game 3 now as the series stands 1-1 with 2 so far matches as they have ended up being. We'll see if that is going to be the case here, which, as we've said, with the Broodmother pick pulling out of control either way, and does maybe look a little more scary for LGD here in this.
It looks like it might be some mind games coming up, and they have 2 heroes with mid items. Both the Broodmother as well as the Dragon Knight have those setups at the moment with shared tangos.
You want to get Ice in at the start then?
Away from the Kunkka, more than likely, yeah.
As we do introduce you to the players and their heroes. See this earlier in game 1. He had quite the performance on the Venomancer.